Hi, Imtiaz. Welcome to our program, The Business Detective. Can I begin by asking you what inspired you to become a stock market speculator who takes large bets for large payoffs?
Good morning, Dinesh. Thank you for having me here first. I would like to correct you. I'm not a speculator in the stock market. I have about almost 35 years experience investing in the stock market in local and overseas. And I have my own company also. So now, and next month I'll be 25 years. I'll be celebrating the 25th year for the company. And hopefully very soon, another 2-3 months, I'm planning to go for an IPO also in the company. So I'm more than a 10 billion rupee investment company already.
Okay. So are you a long-term investor or?
I'm a long-term investor. Basically, I go into a lot of details, and if I see most of my shares are almost 5-10 years I've been holding.
Okay. This in terms of governance in the private sector, what is your point of view?
Reasonably all right, but I'm sure there's a lot of room for improvement. We also, time to time, we are taking up issues in the Twitter and with CSC and everything to improve in certain areas. As minority investors or high net worth investors, we need more information sometimes from the companies. Especially when we are making large amounts of investments, we need more information to be obtained from them.
Okay. In terms of boards and all that, but are you satisfied with some of the boards that are already in place?
They have independent directors, but it's always appointed with their, I think, close friends or whatever. But you can't expect much. I think most of them are very quiet. I think they don't bring up any issues much, I feel. So they go by with the companies, whatever they.
Okay. So Imtiaz, I know you have a big following on Twitter and all that. Can I ask you a question on the performance of the market and what the market will look like by the end of the year?
End of the year, I'm looking at currently, if you see the Bloomberg P ratio is around 12 plus, but CSC sites shows around 14. So I feel at least 18 our market can trade at, because if you see the regional markets all are trading about 20. So if you're looking at around 18 plus from 12, it's another 50% can go up. So currently we are about 13,000 plus. So easily 20,000 I'm expecting by end of the year, 18 to 20,000.
Okay. Why hasn't the banks fired in the stock market? They've been more or less stagnant.
Initially, I think a lot of foreign selling was there in the banks. And thereafter, I think the shareholder limits of only 10% is allowed. So if they can increase that to 15% and there will be more players, they can increase their stakes. So that will absorb the liquidity. And also people had their own feeling like, the banks are had these moratoriums and, some bad debts can come in. But if you see quarter by quarter, last 4-5 quarters, they have been improving. The profits have been going up. I think banks know how to get their accounts right, they know to create value. So I don't really worry about in that area. So moratorium, if it finishes, even still they will perform well.
Has the dividend ban had an impact on the performance of the shares?
Not really, because the last 1.5 years we are on a bull run in the market. So people are more interested in the capital gains more than the dividends. So, but anyway, the banks have not performed. It's most of the banks are trading around half the book value. And if you see the P ratios are also around 6-7 times only when the market is around 13-14. So I'm sure the market will now start. There is some talks going on in the social media that the bank shares has to be re-rated and start moving on now.
Okay. Since you have been in the industry for a long time, what are the 5 stocks you would pick that would give a decent 10% plus return for an investor going forward?
I don't want to mention names, but as industries, maybe I can give some these things. Like the manufacturing for sure is one area because of the import restrictions and all that. I think a lot of manufacturing companies are benefited. Second thing will be dollar-based because of a currency situation. Dollar-based companies are going to do well. Third will be like renewable energy. Going forward, our energy has to be improved, and there's a lot of scope in that area. Then logistics is another area, and plus maybe international trade. People who are in international and growing. Those are the main areas I'm looking at.
Okay. I don't know whether it's fair to ask you these questions. Who are the rising stars in the market at the moment?
Again, it used to be like the diversified conglomerates, but now you can see it's getting shifted into dollar-based companies and manufacturing and like logistics companies are the currently, and maybe going forward, maybe on technology companies also are coming in, might be another area to look at.
If you are forced to sell any of your current large stock positions, what would you sell?
If some of my portfolio is not performing well, not due to price wise, but if it's the companies are not performing, then I'll try to get rid of those. But if I see potential and like for example, like these banks, like, the potential is there, but the prices are not moved. So I like hold tight on those things. Yeah, I know someday it's going to go up. So it's not because of the pricing, it will be more about the company's performance, whether they are they're agile and they are ready to move with the new norm and keep shifting that kind of if they're not doing that, maybe I'll take a call and say this company group is not doing well and maybe shift into something else.
I know you have been hugely successful in the last 2 years. Does luck also play a part in this stock market for stock market investors?
Maybe for new investors, the luck might work for a few times because they're also following the social media and they get a lot of tips without much research doing. So maybe getting those information, it must be the luck. They can call it like a luck because at least because others have done the homework and they are getting it easy. But for me, it's not luck. I think I would call it like you get opportunities once you have grown big and you're people call and give you good blocks and say these are available, are you ready to buy 10 million shares or 100 million shares? Then you get those kind of opportunities to you. So that way, yes, I'll call it, I wouldn't call it a luck, but it's your hard work is paying off now.
Quickly, I know investing in the market is a very stressful thing, right? What really got you into this?
As I said, I've been there for last 35 years. I've been looking at it and doing a lot of research, studying. So it's not I just come in for a short period and just do. So it's in my blood now. Like, for me, everything I see is all about related to stock markets. So I've been in various businesses and I have experience in lots of businesses that I have done. So coupled with that, it's quite easy for me to understand and I enjoy it. It's a passion for me to build and move on from me. Yeah.
If you are to hold 5 stocks for the next 10 years, what would they be?
Again, as I said, it will be more international trade companies who are diversifying. Like if you want to just name some groups, I can just say like companies like LOLC group is diversifying very fast. Haley's group is also is another one. Maybe John Keel's holdings. I think the future businesses will be doing well, like SoftLogics. And companies like those are looking forward for the future, looking good.
Okay.
But
what about
companies? But they are not moving fast enough. They're just holding on to their portfolio or their businesses, and maybe they're 50 years old or 100 years old, but they are not. They're maintaining the same, just looking at a 5% or 10% growth. But now the new norm, we are looking at 50, 100, 200% growth. We need to look at those numbers.
Well, what about the logistic companies?
Logistics is really doing well. Currently, also one of the local companies has really grown, going overseas. I think they will be performing, and it's going to be one of the international brand name that they'll bring in the results. And I think quarter by quarter, we are seeing very good results, and it will keep moving forward like that.
Okay. So Imtiaz, my last 2 questions would be, where would you like to see the market by 2024? And what support would you need from the regulator to get there?
By 24, I have already I mentioned my targets, a long time ago in FT Times and in my Twitter and all those things. Like, it has already materialized. For 2020, I gave my targets. For 21, I gave my targets, and it just reached on time. On actually one day late, it came on the 12,500. Now, end of the year, I'm looking at around 20,000. In 24, I'm looking at 30,000. My things, if everything goes well, and I have a lot of hope that the economy will start turning around going forward from now onwards. So I have a lot of hopes because a lot of companies are going to come. New companies will be coming into IPOs, into the stock market, and I believe the market will be quite aggressive going forward because interest rates are very low. taxes are very low. So it's a good platform for the companies to make good monies, and it will reflect in the share prices. So that will take the mark to about 30,000 by 24.
Okay. How do we get some of these foreign investors back?
Foreign investors, I think one thing is because of the downgrading, they are keeping away. Second thing is because of the exchange rate also, they are thinking there might be a depreciation and they are holding back. So all I feel by around March, my feeling is that most of these currency issues should get sorted out, because they are talking with a lot of countries, and hopefully if those numbers come in, it's going to be quite big. So if like a big number comes, more than $5 billion can come within 2-3 months, that's going to be a huge amount for Sri Lanka. So that will change everything. So with that, I'm sure the foreigners will start looking at it, because Sri Lanka has been the best performing share market for 21, and they have missed out a lot. So if you see the last 3 years, our depreciation has been only about 10%. 2018 we were 182 rupees the dollar. Now official rate is only 200, 203. It's only 10% for 3 years it has depreciated, although unofficial we are looking at different rates. But the market has performed over 50%, 100%, and in certain shares it has gone even 200, 300, 500% it has gained. So I think they have missed out a lot, not only the foreigners, even the EPF has missed out a lot in the market, and I'm sure that they are going to come very soon.
Okay. And finally, any advice for retail investors, given that the market is now close to 13,000?
Yeah, so they'll have to be careful. First thing is just not to be in that herd instinct kind of a thing, just keep following now. So they'll have to do their own research also. So time to time, there are lots of social media details are coming out on technical analysis or on fundamentals, or giving some recommendations. So you'll have to be careful and choose and do your homework, not just believe someone and just go and buy. If you do the homework, it can reward you very well. But if you don't do and just take your shortcuts, it can lead you into bad investments also.
Okay. So thank you, Imtiaz, and good luck with your investments.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Dinesh, for having me today.